Hey y'all, it's Alec, the traveling civilian. Today we're going to talk about which is more effective in a personal self-defense situation, if it's going to be bear spray or personal OC spray. I'll give you a little bit about my background for those that don't know me and are just new to this channel. I am a retired law enforcement officer who has spent 26 years of their life protecting others. And now my wife and I live full-time in a 2019 Tiffin motorhome, and we work camp our way across the country. So we're going from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and trying to find the best way to keep ourselves safe. With all my training at the police department, one thing we had to be sure and we had to get done is every year we had to get recertified with OC spray. And in that recertification, every year we got sprayed with OC spray. So based on that and the fact that last year my wife accidentally dropped our can of bear spray in the camper and I got sprayed with the bear spray, I think I can effectively say which of these two is more painful, more likely to get me to run. So let's start a little bit about what each things are, because they are not the same. So bear spray comes in a much larger container. Now both of these are by Sabre. At the police department we carried Sabre. My personal protection can is Sabre Red, which is law enforcement strength. I carried a little bit bigger bottle at the police department. But the federal government has regulated bear spray because the EPA, which is the regulation body, says that since we're using this to repel an animal, that it's considered a pesticide. And because it's a pesticide, they regulate strongly how much capsaicin or pepper can be used in bear spray, which, you know, whenever the government gets involved, things become less effective. Now, with personal protection spray, like my Sabre Red here, there is really no regulation. And the Scoville unit, the capsaicin, the amount of pepper, irritant that is inside the personal protection spray is much higher. I've experienced both. I know what I'm talking about. Now, what are the benefits of bear spray? And by the way, this is Frontiersman, which is also made by Sabre. So this says that the capsaicin and related capsaining agents are 2%. And that's because it is regulated by the government. So this spray is not nearly as hot as the law enforcement grade capsaicin spray that's in the personal protection spray. This is 10%. 2%, 10%. Now, because it's regulated, the EPA says that bear spray can't have more than 1 to 2%. So the EPA keeps it smaller. But they also say that it has to be able to spray at least 25 feet. I'm not going to be as close to a bear as I am going to be some guy that's trying to rob me. So, what is this good for self-protection? Well, anything's better than nothing, and if this is all you've got, use it. But because bear spray sprays out in a fog type spray and can go up to 25 feet. This particular can says it can go 30 feet. So this would be good if we're having a shit hit the fan type of situation and we've got a mob of people that are coming at us and we're trying to disperse them. This would be my go-to. This will spray 30 feet in a big fog pattern. So this would be more effective, and it's much larger. This is 7.9 ounces. This is 22 grams. So I've got 7.9 ounces. I can do a couple of 5-second bursts on the crowd with this before I run out. So this is more effective. It doesn't have as much irritant, not as good for close quarters, but on a crowd, this is what I would use. And actually, when we go hiking, I carry both. I have this nice holster that's a waist holster that I put my bear spray in. It's got a nice guard on it. So I carry this when we're hiking, and I carry this in my pocket. So when would I use the Saber Red? When would I use this personal protection OC spray? Well, as you can see, this is easily concealed in my pocket. This is very visible around my belt. So the Saber Red, which I carry, has a belt clip, and what I normally do is clip that on the outside of my pocket and conceal this in my pocket. It also has this safety. So that's safe. You rotate it with your thumb. That is spray. So I don't have to worry about this going off when I'm drawing it out of my holster. This has a protector that goes over. I always take it off when I'm carrying it because it's too cumbersome trying to get it off when you're using it. Like I said before, this is 10% capsaicin. It has a much higher Scoville unit than the bear spray. But this is also only 22 grams. So I'm only going to get probably 2, maybe 3, 1 to 2 second bursts. And so when you spray this, unlike this, which you spray in a big fog, with this you want to give 1 or 2 seconds, and you want to kind of do a figure 8 while you're spraying it. It is less of a fog pattern, and so you do like this to get it on the assailant's face. So this is an excellent way to have a self-protection tool or weapon when you are just out and about in town. Now, like I said, this is not regulated, and I do not believe I have been anywhere where I'm not legally allowed to carry that. Now, you know, you go, well, we've got a Second Amendment, just get a CWP and carry a firearm. I read every day where people are being charged with protecting themselves legally with a firearm. The federal government, local governments, both Republicans and Democrats, are doing everything they can to suppress our Second Amendment rights. Now, we know that the Second Amendment says no laws shall be enacted to infringe a person's rights to carry a firearm or to have a firearm, to own a firearm, and I'm paraphrasing. But the government, the courts, everything, they are doing everything they can to suppress our Second Amendment rights. So we have to be smarter. And that's why I use tools like this, like an air horn, small air horn that you can carry, a stainless steel ballpoint pen, anything you can use to fight with in a self-protection mode. I like to carry the Saber Red because it's compact, it's not regulated, It fits easily in my pockets, easily concealed, and is very effective. Is it effective on everyone? No. When I was at the police department, I remember 3 occasions, I think, where I had to deploy OC spray on a suspect that I was having a confrontation with, for protection, for compliance. And like I said, on those 3 events, I remember the OC spray had 0 effect. Now, I can't count the number of times I had to use OC spray in the fulfilling of my duties as a law enforcement agent. But like I said, those 3 times. And it was usually somebody that was hopped up on drugs, PCP, all cracked out. But there was one occasion where, you know, the person just had a high tolerance and was able to continue fighting and trying to harm me while I used the OC spray. So any non-lethal or less than lethal tool that you use is not going to be 100% effective, but it gives you a better chance of survival. So I just wanted to bring this up because I had someone in the campground the other day said, "Oh, you don't need OC spray. I got some bear spray. I carry it in the Jeep." Well, I got both of these in my Jeep too. I've got both of them in my camper. When we hike, Cindy and I carry them both. She's got her own. I've got my own. So just remember that you know, you're never safe where you are. It's always good to have a little something to protect yourself. Make sure that if you do use it, that you can articulate to the police, to a prosecutor, that you are protecting yourself. As soon as you deploy, try to find out who was around you that saw the incident, that can speak on your behalf. And remember, the first thing you do when you deploy is you should always render aid to that person once they're under control. So anyway, that's today's video, and let me know in the comments which you carry, if either or neither. And please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, this is Alec, the Traveling Civilian.